Hi guys, Vlad here. I want to talk about shooting, not just any average shooting, but the types of shooting that I see players go through and how it affects them. So there's two, in my opinion, there's two kinds of shooters. There are result shooters and then there's process shooters. So what's the difference and which one is better, if there is one better? Well, result shooters are like this. All that matters to them is the result. They don't care how they got to it. They don't care what they did. They don't care if it's reproducible. They don't care if it's precise. They don't care about any of that stuff. What they strictly care about is, did it go in? Doesn't matter how it went in. All that matters is, did it go in? All right? Now you have process shooters. Process shooters, they're like the detectives of basketball. They want to know, how did I release the ball? How fast did it come off my hand? What angle was I shooting at? Were my feet wide apart? Were they close together? Was it a swish or did it hit rim? Did I use the backboard? Process shooters are strictly involved with the process. And this is something that the Pro Shot shooting system talks about. It's a system that I really like. It's a shooting system which, it tells you about process shooting versus result shooting. Now, which one is better? Well, in my opinion, I would always take the process over the result. Because I find that too many times people get hung up on the result and they don't build up enough skills for the process. So it's just like doing anything. Like, for example, when you're doing math, like little kids when they're doing math, it does matter if they get the right answer, but what the teacher really wants to see is, can you come up with the right answer repeatedly over and over? So what do they ask the kids to do? They say, show your work. So a lot of kids hate that because, they might know the answer to the question, but they can't tell you how they got that answer, which really means is they memorized how to get the answer, and that's it. So that's sort of like my same angle that I take with shooting a basketball. Like, you could tell me the shot went in if you're a result shooter, but you can't tell me what you did to make the shot over and over and over again. That process shooter is like that math student who is constantly showing their work. They have their scratch paper and they're saying, well, the reason I got this answer is because I did this, then I divided this. After I divided that, I took the remainder and I plugged it into this equation, and boom, that's how I got my answer. And I think that's the biggest difference, and I think that's the biggest advantage, because if you can master the process of shooting, you can continually push yourself to get the same results over and over and over and over again. As opposed to when you're just strictly about the result, you're kind of screwing yourself because you don't know how you got there. If you make a shot from half court and you don't ever make one again, you can't tell me how you made that one shot at half court. But somebody who's a process shooter, they can say, well, I know if I keep my body this way, or if I do a real hard dribble, or if I gather like this, then my shot has a higher chance of going in. And that means a lot more to me. And if anything, it's really about the process. Like, a lot of people say, like it's not really where you're going. It's really about the journey sometimes. Well, in shooting, it really is. That is the case. And you can look at that in many aspects of life. For example, a multimillionaire. A lot of people say, well, they're lucky. They'll say, like, the only reason they have money is because their father was rich or their mother was rich or whatever. Well, an example of that being false, and a lot of it is false, if you took a look at Elon Musk, he's not lucky at all. He had $1 billion business in like PayPal. And I guess he sold some of that. Then he went on to create Tesla Motors, which is another, I think it is $1 billion business. So he's hit it twice. You know why? Because he is in love with the process of making the money. So he has mastered the process. And if you look at all the best shooters, they are all process shooters. They have mastered the process. Stephen Curry's a process shooter. Ray Allen's a process shooter. Allen Houston was a process shooter. Reggie Miller was a process shooter. Michael Jordan was a process shooter. And all of that is showing itself because all of those players, they can tell you why they missed the shot and how they missed the shot. You look at a result shooter, they can never tell you the reason why they missed the shot. All they can say is, damn, I missed. Or, man, I missed 10 in a row. I got to keep shooting. I don't know why I'm doing this, but got to do it. A process shooter can tell you exactly why. For example, Michael Jordan in the 1998 NBA Finals Game 6, that last shot that he took when he kind of like held his follow through and, he looked at the crowd as he made it, well, pretty much Jordan had noticed that he was missing all of his shots short. So he figured that his last shot, he was going to hold his follow through even longer so he wouldn't miss short. So if Jordan could be a detective with his shot and do those things, I think that it'll be best for you as a shooter in basketball to follow the same suit. It's the same thing with Curry. Like Curry could tell you, okay, my shot was an angle too high or it's too low or I'm releasing it too quick. So I know a lot of times people say, people don't care about how you get somewhere. It's just like the result that matters to people. And that is true to people. But to yourself, especially when you're shooting a basketball, definitely study the process. Try to master some things about your shooting. Try to make it reproducible over and over again. Understand why you're missing a shot. Understand why you're making a shot. All those things can make you a better shooter. Well, this is Vlad from Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.